Hey Grand Adventurers, welcome back. I'm your host Mark Guido, and we're spending this week in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Come along. Spanish for the crosses. Las Cruces is the second most populous city in New Mexico, with an estimated 214,000 in its metropolitan area. It gets even bigger when you include nearby El Paso, Texas, about 49 miles to the southeast. Situated in the Chihuahuan Desert, in the Mesilla Valley floodplain of the Rio Grande, at an elevation of 3,900 feet, Las Cruces is home to the Organ Mountains and White Sands Missile Range to its east, in the historical town of Mesilla, all of which we'll explore in this episode of Grand Adventure. Las Cruces was founded in 1849, right after the Mexican-American War, when the U.S. Army first surveyed the town, thus opening up the area for American settlement. Las Cruces today lacks a true central business district, because an urban renewal project in the 1960s tore down a large part of the city's original downtown. RV travelers will, however, find just about anything they could need somewhere in town, including both small local retailers and big box chain stores. Agriculture is big business surrounding Las Cruces, irrigated by water of the Rio Grande River. New Mexico is America's largest producer of pecans, but onions, cotton, corn, hay, and of course chili peppers are grown here as well, along with dairy farms. Believe it or not, this is the mighty Rio Grande. Since the institution of water rights, the famed river fills its banks in Las Cruces only when water is released from upstream dams, like the one at Elephant Butte, which roughly occurs from March to September annually. We're spending 5 nights at the Las Cruces KOA Journey, perched high on a bluff overlooking the west side of town. The facilities here are nicer than some holiday category KOAs we've stayed at, with great valley views and amenities like daily trash pickup. At $74.13 per night plus tax, less our KOA rewards discount, sure, it's a little pricey, but far superior to any of the area alternatives that we found. We've said many times that one of the best things about traveling North America in an RV is crossing paths with good friends, like here in Las Cruces with Linda and Jamie of the YouTube channel Roaming with Rosie. Following a good home-cooked meal in a peaceful campground like the Las Cruces KOA, it's easy to get a good night's sleep on our quality RV mattress from our valued video sponsor, Brooklyn Bedding. Improve your sleep while camping with a new RV mattress from our video sponsor, Brooklyn Bedding. They offer 4 different mattress constructions in 21 different sizes, depending on preference and price point. Everything from standard queen to all of those funky, odd RV sizes. Brooklyn Bedding manufactures all of its mattresses right at their factory in Arizona. And RVmattress.com ships them right to your door for free, all rolled up and compressed in a vacuum seal. Just cut the wrap to unroll the mattress onto your bed, then cut the vacuum seal. For our mattress, Brooklyn Bedding starts with a layer of high-density foam for a supported base. Just above the base, an 8-inch core of over 1,000 individually encased coils provides the essential support. Immediately above the coils is a 1-inch layer of memory foam and 2-inch layer of hyper-elastic TitanFlex foam. Finally, at the very top is a 1.5-inch layer of antimicrobial CopperFlex foam with TitanCool, which is designed to maintain an ideal sleep body temperature of 88 degrees. Every RV mattress from Brooklyn Bedding comes with a 10-year warranty and a 120-night sleep trial. Visit rvmattress.com/grandadventure and use code GRANDADVENTURE to get a full 30% off your entire order. In 1540, Spanish conquistadors, and more specifically Coronado, crossed the Rio Grande into northern Mexico, followed in 1598 by Don Juan de Onate to colonize Nuevo Mexico. The route between Mexico City and the capital of Nuevo Mexico, Santa Fe, became known as the El Camino Real, passing right through the Mesilla Valley. Initially, it was Mesilla, adjacent to Las Cruces, that became the leading settlement of the area, with more than 2,000 residents in 1860, more than twice what Las Cruces had, and making it the largest town between San Antonio, Texas, and San Diego, California. By 1858, Mesilla became a popular stop on the Butterfield Overland Stage Line. When the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railway reached the area, the landowners of Mesilla refused to sell it the rights of way. But Las Cruces didn't make that mistake, and the first train reached Las Cruces in 1881. The first settlers of Mesilla appeared after the signing of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo in 1848, following the war between the United States and Mexico. With the signing of the Gadsden Treaty in 1853, Mesilla became a part of the United States, and on November 16, 1854, the flag of the United States was raised in the Mesilla Plaza for the first time. This adobe building, located on the southeast corner of Mesilla Plaza, once served as the courtroom and jail for Billy the Kid's trial in 1881, where he was sentenced to hang. Mesilla Plaza was a lively place, with people coming from miles around to attend rooster fights, play cards at local saloons, and enjoy food and spirits at the Corn Exchange Hotel, now La Posta Restaurant. This bunkhouse and stable for travelers was frequented by the likes of Billy the Kid, Pat Garrett, Pancho Villa, and many more personalities of the Wild West. Ulysses S. Grant stopped at La Posta overnight while riding the Butterfield stagecoach, as did Kit Carson, the famous tracker. On the Mesilla Plaza's northeastern side, the beautiful building housing the Double Eagle and Pepper's restaurants was built in 1849 and has witnessed many colorful and historical events, including the confirmation of the Gadsden Purchase on the plaza in 1853 and the Secessionist Convention declaration of Mesilla as capital of the Arizona Territory in 1861. The Double Eagle's 30-foot hand-carved oak and walnut imperial bar is framed with 4 Corinthian columns in gold leaf. Hanging above the bar are 2 magnificent classic French Baccarat chandeliers, measuring 7 feet by 3 feet. The room to the right of the main entry is named after Territorial Governor Lew Wallace, who was the author of the novel Ben-Hur. He denied Billy the Kid's plea for a pardon, which led to the Kid's jailbreak from the Lincoln County Courthouse. The Double Eagle's Gadsden patio commemorates the Gadsden Purchase, which was signed on the Mesilla Plaza. In the 1850s, the restaurant was the home of an affluent Mexican family who hired a maid. The family had a teenage son who fell in love with this maid, much to the distress of his mother. Finding the pair entwined, the mother grabbed a pair of scissors and stabbed the maid to death, also mistakenly stabbing her son as he stepped in to save his lover. The Double Eagle's Carlota Salon is said to be haunted by the pair's ghosts to this day. The Maximilian Room is perhaps the restaurant's grandest of them all, with 3 Baccarat crystal chandeliers accenting the 18 and 24 karat gold-pressed metal ceiling that was painstakingly leafed by hand with 6-inch squares of gold. Billy the Kid patio features a 7-foot carved stone fountain and a red brick floor that was installed in the late 1850s. The patio also houses a framed newel post from the Gonzalez home in Lincoln County, where Billy the Kid carved his nickname and the name of his girlfriend, Maria Gonzalez, into the post. The Oregon Mountains are a steep, angular mountain range with rocky spires that jut majestically above the Chihuahuan Desert floor on the east side of Las Cruces to an elevation of 9,000 feet. Now one of the 5 desert mountain ranges comprising Oregon Mountains Desert Peaks National Monument, administered by the BLM. We're visiting the Oregon Mountains today with Linda and Jamie to hike and explore. We're hiking right from the Visitor Center at Dripping Springs to locate and explore some of this mountain range's history. We're apparently not the only ones who think today's weather is perfect for a hike. About a mile and a half up the Dripping Springs Trail, Colonel Eugene Van Patten homesteaded and funded the construction of his Dripping Springs Mountain Camp in the late 1800s. After his time in the Confederate Army, where he served as captain in the Battle of Val Verde against General Kit Carson, Van Patten moved to Mexico, married the daughter of an Indian tribal leader, and headed into the Oregon Mountains to build his camp. Van Patten sold the facility in 1917 to Dr. Nathan Boyd, who established this adjacent sanatorium, now abandoned, to house tuberculosis patients, including his wife. At the turn of the century, the disease was so devastating that it claimed the lives of 1 in every 7 people alive at the time. Doctors in the early 1900s believed the cure for tuberculosis could be found in the mountains. It's said that many of the patients at Boyd's sanatorium were turned loose and left to wander the mountains as a form of treatment. Most of those patients were never seen again. It's such an odd juxtaposition, imagining the enormous suffering that took place here, in surroundings so staggeringly beautiful. Following a quick ad break, we're going to travel across the Oregon Mountains to visit the U.S. Army's famed White Sands Missile Range on the other side, so stay tuned. White Sands Missile Range, the largest military installation in the United States, is a U.S. Army military testing area and firing range in the Tularosa Basin on the east side of the Oregon Mountains. It houses the Trinity Test Site, where the world's first nuclear weapon detonation took place in 1945 as part of the Manhattan Project. After submitting to a background check to obtain security clearance, we've traveled just inside the perimeter to visit the missile range's fantastic museum. I had expected a museum chronicling the facility's extensive testing of artillery, rockets, and missiles. What I hadn't counted on is a free museum that also encompasses the human and natural history of the area, from prehistoric to present. The real draw of the White Sands Missile Range Museum lies not inside the museum building, however, but rather outside. We hope that you've enjoyed exploring the Las Cruces area with us. Coming up next week, we're going to be heading west into central and southern Arizona. So if you're not yet a Grand Adventurer, there is no better time than right now for you to go smash that little subscribe button right down there in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. And ring that notification bell to be sure that you never miss a Grand Adventure, which we premiere right here every Wednesday evening. We'd be honored if you shared the channel with your friends, family, and on social media. Understand it is extremely important to us that if you liked this episode, please be sure to give us a big thumbs up down below. And while you're down below, that's where you'll find the comment section where we'd love to hear from you each and every week. So until next Wednesday from Arizona, please remember, life is nothing but a grand adventure. We'll see you then.